What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about what is the southern border going to look like? What is immigration going to look like? Um, or what it's kind of starting to look like for this new Trump administration coming into play. So, if you're liking the content, please consider subscribing, like, share, all that good stuff, and check out my other channels if you would like. JMDPLAY, JM Drummer. Got the Discord there, one-time donations, or you can go up to JMD Nation, Patreon, $3 a month. Anything you do is much appreciated. Thank you very much. So, yes. How is the immigration looking at cabinet members as they are sort of trickling out? What we're getting to know, um, what is being said, and the policies that uh, like your first 100 days kind of ideas for immigration. And the guy that has been announced to um, head up our this whole project is was former like head of ICE under Trump, his first administration. Um, he while he wasn't completely under the team that he was over wasn't under the whole like child separation stuff. He most certainly has been an advocate and has defended the child separation stuff, which caused so much trouble the first time around that Trump had to wind up signing into something uh, like having to stop it, um, because it was just people were just losing their shit over it. Because I mean, you wind up with, and through that period, like roughly somewhere around 5,000 children that were separated from their parents, and you know, put in uh, to homes and stuff with just with other people. And even to this date, there's still over 1,000 that have yet to be reconnected with their parents. So think about that. In what, 5, 6 years, more than that, these kids have still not been connected back with their parents. Over 1,000 kids. That's like insane to think about. Um, so yes, it was a horrible thing, but this is the guy. This is one of the guys who has been a major advocate for that and has defended it. Now doing his talks about the border and what he plans to do, being hardcore on the mass deportation, going after, he says, the worst first, meaning criminals. There's roughly, from my understanding, a little over 500,000 immigrants who have committed some type of crime. Those would be the first ones who are uh, basically found and expected to be deported. Now, my only question with that is what is like what's defining crime? I mean, it's 500,000. Are we talking about like serious crimes or like major crimes or whatever? Or are we talking about, there's a certain percentage of them that's like maybe just little simple petty crimes that, weren't like that big? I mean, we just like pulling any kind of min, mini crime to the largest one you can think of, and just every one of them, you can't be here. Me personally, I kind of have a little bit of an issue with that. Um, I mean, if they were, we're talking about like serious crimes, major stuff or whatever, sure, send them out, whatever. Um, but if we're talking about little petty, maybe theft stuff or something like that, like something that's not that serious, I don't really feel like that's, in my opinion, something to be deported over. I think that's a little much. I'm sure that there are people who will completely go against that and be like, I do not care. They committed a crime. Get the hell out. And fine, but it just seems a little bit much to me personally. But then there's 1.5 million who have already been like already been decided, like they've already been even potentially given the address that they are going to be deported because of whatever they're going through the system, stuff or whatever the process have been found that they, for our laws and rules or whatever, they cannot stay here. So they've already technically been addressed that they will be deported at some point. There's about 1.5 million of those. So initially 2 million people, immigrants, who are the worst first idea out. Um, but then you have ones like Stephen Miller, who's becoming what is it, a chief of staff, director or whatever. I don't I can't remember what exactly is, but he has previously in the past promoted actually denaturalizing immigrants. So basically, immigrants who were here uh, legally being unnaturalized and deported. Um, so if you're going to the point of, and if he's going to pressure that kind of stuff, there might be others that are going to pressure that kind of stuff, which we've already have the concerns, because Trump has thrown out numbers from 2 million, which we have just discussed about, all up to 10, 20 million, which we understand to roughly be somewhere between 15, maybe 16, 17 million in the country. But if you're going to go to the point of completely doing a mass, like a major millions upon millions, okay, these people are integrated into our economy and are helping support our economy and everything. If you go to just deporting that many people or attempting to deport that many people, you're going to hit some major economic issues with that, and cause a problem with our economy, like quick, like. So this is a concern that is much in the forefront of this. From, and not only that, the idea, a lot of people think, oh well, yeah, there's no problem, let's just get them out of here, just deport them, blah, blah, blah. Even under Trump's first term, he roughly, I think, averaged around 320,000 deported a year, which was actually lower than Obama. Obama was known as the deporter in chief. Trump actually deported less people than Obama. Biden has deported more people than Trump. You could argue that Biden was the deporter in chief 2.0. But it's not so easy to just say you are going to just deport these people. All right. For starters, there's a two-way street there. Okay. Whoever you are deporting them to, whatever country you're deporting them to, they have to accept them. It's not like you just send them off and you're forcing these countries to accept them. Even though Trump might say that he's going to force them, but like I said, even in his first term, he couldn't do any better than 300 and a little over 300,000 a year. So we're talking about millions here. I mean, if he can, let's give him that he can maybe actually pull off 500 a year. That means that the 2 million, it's going to take his whole administration just to get the 2 million that they're talking about getting out. So at best, that might be the best. I mean, if you're someone who's advocating for that and wants that to happen, 2 million might be the best that you get, and that might be enough for most people. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, that might be the best you can actually get. It just, to think that you're going to deport this many people, and then like I said, these other countries have to then like accept them, and there are countries that sometimes don't, they won't accept certain ones, or they won't accept, they might accept parts of them, but they won't accept others. Because just like taking, millions of people out of our economy and out of our, adding millions, like we argue all, there's argument all the time about, what if you, like the whole Springfield issue, that, where people were trying to argue, well, you add millions of people to a town, and it causes economical issues, although technically they asked them to come there, and they had already previously had that many people in the town anyway, so it's not like they really had that big of an issue. They had been able to handle that many people before. But the argument was that, you've got millions of people being added to a to any area, it's going to cause an economical issue. The same thing will happen with these other countries, and they have to be able to balance their economy and bringing them in, and how they're going to, situate it, and through the system or whatever. I mean, this is not just something that you can just be like, all right, we're shipping them there and you deal with them. It doesn't work like that. It's a two-way street. It's a whole legal issue that happen, that has to, in process, that has to go about. So the likelihood that Trump is going to get done, or what they're trying to get done, I mean, it's not going to be as easy as people think. So I'm just saying, like, you might want to lower your expectations a little bit. And the only way I think, like, they actually might be able to do it is if they were doing some illegal or unethical stuff to make it happen. Stuff that you'd have to question and bring up. Does it have legal standing? I mean, so yeah, I feel like this is an issue that either a lot of people are going to be disappointed about because it doesn't actually get as much done as he is promising to get done, or it's going to happen, but it's going to happen to the point that it's either majorly unlawful and can, like, cause a lot of issues with other countries, and it will also cause some major economical issues for our own country. And I'm not too sure that what you have signed on to is going to actually benefit like you think. But let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me just think of, those that are being put in place so far, what the, rhetoric they're talking about. Do you think they actually will be able to get it done? Do you think they're going to really try? To what extent? And just let me know what you think about it. Altogether. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I on the track? Am I crazy? I don't know. Let me know. Anyways, thank you very much, and it's been Clear Talk. Peace. I'm out.